You're listening to the Unbelievers Podcast.
There were several groups. One of the principal ones was the reptilians from the Orion complex.
Without any exaggeration, it was like being on fire inside.
The rats were eating them inside.
This stuff was in my mouth. It felt like it was 500 degrees. It was unbelievably hot.
My first question would be, were you a member of the Church of Satan, a card-carrying member of the Church of Satan? I don't understand.
There's always an argument for everything. You know, just because somebody can fake something doesn't necessarily mean it's full war, and we found a life form. And that's when I started shitting my pants.
So for the person who called, I am carrying an alien.
An alien baby, and we cover it right here, okay?
Okay.
Something is happening. What is it? That's the question. So do UFOs exist? It depends on what you mean exist.
Hello, and welcome to the Unbelievers Podcast, Episode 5, Haunted Museum Live, Halloween 2018. As the Unbelievers gather to listen to the final live broadcast of the Unbelievable Podcast, another live event was happening simultaneously. The Ghost Adventures Haunted Museum Live. This 4-hour television and multimedia event saw host Zak Bagans and his Ghost Adventures cohorts locked inside of his own haunted museum to face off against some of the spookiest relics ever collected. Lily the Doll, Bela Lugosi's mirror, and the Dybuk Box, just to name a few. Will these Ghost Adventurers survive the night, or are these cursed items too powerful to overcome? Find out now on the program where you continue to learn to unlearn everything you know. Hello and welcome to the Unbelievers Podcast. I'm your host, Russ Ryan, and today I am joined by my co-host, Drea Mora on the West Coast. Hello, Drea.
Hello, hi. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing wonderful. And my co-host in Washington, D.C., Jude Prestia. Hello, Jude.
I would like to say hello to the listeners, and I'd like to say hello to Drea, and I'd like
Hello,
to say hello
Jude.
to Rob, and I'd like to say hello to you. Hello, Russ.
That's so nice. Thank you so much. And speaking of Rob, I would like to introduce our producer and soundboard engineer, Rob Oakey.
Yeah, about that hole.
About
up,
that
guys?
hole.
Oh,
What's up,
hello,
Rob? How's that hole going?
That hole's good.
Good.
Better than ever.
Woo!
Oh, so many holes to get to, but not today. So last week we broke format a bit and did a great interview with Reptilian Contact Team at R, but we are right back to the tried and true formula. Now this one, So this week we're doing the Ghost Adventures 4-hour live multimedia presentation of the Haunted Museum live.
Damn.
4 whole hours.
So this was 4 hours live of network television. And if you're an unbeliever and didn't see it, you shouldn't have, because this was going on. This was going on while our beloved show was doing its last ever live episode. Okay?
Yeah. We were doing a freaking funeral procession. So if you were off watching this Zak Bagans, shame on you.
Yeah, if you were actually
pack
doing
your Bagans.
If you were doing nice, if you were doing actual Halloween stuff and going out and partying, good on you. Go listen to it later. But if you had the time to sit and do anything live, you were listening to the Unbelievable Podcast. But it's good that you were and you didn't watch this, because we watched it for you, and it is. Let's just get into it. Ghost Adventures Haunted Museum.
He just ghosted that intro.
Eve.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion. I am your host, your ghost host. Kindly step all the way in, please, and make room for everyone. There's no turning back now. The carriage that will carry you into the moldering sanctum of the spirit world will accommodate you and one or two lovely pictures, please.
When the crypto's creak and the tombstones quake, happy haunts materialize.
All right. That was a great remix version of Grim Grinning Ghost, which was the Halloween theme of the Unbelievable Podcast Tournament of Aliens, which was on Halloween. Man, that is a cool remix, though.
Whoa.
It's a remix. It's a remix. It was good. It just makes me want to go to Disneyland.
I know, man. That the Haunted Mansion is one of the greatest things ever made, I think. But one of the not greatest things ever made is this special, which we are going to get into, the Haunted Museum Live. And it is actually also a mansion, so that song was very fitting.
Oh,
yeah, it was a mansion.
Yeah,
that was.
big.
We're going to get into it. But, hey, you don't want to hear me intro this. Let's hear from the host of Ghost Adventures himself, Zak Bagans.
There are things in this world that we will never fully understand. We want answers. So tonight, on Halloween, for the first time in nearly a decade, we're broadcasting live from my museum in Las Vegas, a building that is truly haunted.
I've been scratched. It has this really ugly feeling. I've had my hair pulled. I've been burned.
Get ready. Anything can happen. This is Ghost Adventures, the Haunted Museum, live.
How many spooky sound effects can you jam into one intro? My God.
Understand. Also, that lady talking about how she was like, I was scratched and I was burned. It's like, well, yeah, so have I, like many times in my life.
I had my hair pulled.
Yeah, all the time. My scalp is numb because I had two older brothers and we fought all the time. If you like yank on my hair, I don't feel shit. Lady, what have you got?
Yeah, this off the bat, I mean, watching that intro, I would be rolling my eyes as this started, and I was. So this special, which I said is a 4-hour multimedia live event hosted on Halloween. This special is hosted by a man named Josh Gates, who he gives us a rundown on what we can expect tonight.
Good evening. I'm Josh Gates coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. We are here on the night when the veil protecting the living from the dead is at its thinnest. On this night, Zak and his team of investigators are about to lock themselves inside this building, which is filled with purportedly cursed objects and haunted relics. Their mission? To thrust themselves into the darkest realm of the paranormal. And they're doing it live. It's going to be an incredible night, filled with special guests, terrifying surprises, and a showdown with what might just be the most haunted object on Earth. In fact, tonight is the 1-year anniversary of the opening of the Haunted Museum, and the forces contained within these walls have been gathering their strength over the last 12 months. Zak has chosen tonight, Halloween, when these energies are at their most powerful, to challenge them at an unprecedented level. He and the rest of his Ghost Adventures crew are preparing for their biggest investigation ever. As we wait for Zak and his crew to arrive, let's look back at some of the most frightening and unexplained events that have taken place inside the most haunted museum on Earth.
Ugh, let's
not. The most haunted museum on Earth. All right, first off, they're locking themselves in. Well, Zak Bagans is locking himself in his own place. He owns this place.
That's the biggest investigation into
his
place
own
that
place.
Zak owns.
Yeah, and
where
the other
he
thing,
eats sandwiches.
Yeah, where all his friends work. They're there every day. What's the big deal about locking yourself in your own building? And also, these relics have been building energy for over a year. And what do you think any of these things know that it's actually Halloween? Now, I've got a list of some of the things, maybe, but some of the things in here, even the items themselves are ridiculous. All right, so when they're showing this montage, one of the things they show is Dr. Kevorkian's bag. No, and it says, it says Dr. Kevorkian's. Dr. Kevorkian is not a paranormal. This is a guy who helped assisted suicide. It's
It's not paranormal.
No, not at all. And it doesn't even look like if you were Dr. Kevorkian, you wouldn't have a giant leather bag that looked like old timey that said Dr. Kevorkian on it. But he's got Peggy and Lily, both cursed dolls. He's got the cauldron of Ed Gein. Now, another thing. Ed Gein is not paranormal, dude. The guy was just a serial killer, like in the 50s, who they based a bunch of movies off, loosely based a bunch of movies off.
I mean, to be fair, though, Russ, to be fair, like when it comes to, serial killers, even if you just murdered one person, like it'll carry some weird energy, like, ooh, that person, maybe they had demons on them, or at least maybe they have, some of the spirits of the people they brutally murdered. But still, yeah, the majority of things in this guy's museum are not that spooky.
It seems like bringing up but Ed Gein's cauldron. Now, I've even read books about Ed Gein, and I don't remember anything about a cauldron. I don't know what that has to do with him at all. I remember
he just made chili in it.
You used to be able to buy like little wood like clippings from Ed Gein's shed for like 10. It was so cheesy.
Did you buy some?
No,
I never heard of that.
I'm not bringing that.
Where did you see that?
That thing. Dude, if those wood chips got in here, man, after a year on Halloween, it'd freaking go in my eye or something.
Much energy.
But he talks about something called, I'm just introing all the things, man. Bela Lugosi's mirror. The guy who was an actor. It is cool, but I don't see how it's haunted. The dude is not a Dracula. He's a guy. He was, especially if you watch Ed Wood, it humanizes him so much. There's nothing spooky about Bela Lugosi to me. Or, I mean, well, the other items will let him go because the Dybuk Box might actually be spooky.
Yeah, that one.
A little spooky.
That one I would be hesitant to touching, but yeah, we get to that later for sure.
There's some other non-spooky things coming too. So we get to hear from some of the employees of the museum and some of the things they go through on a daily basis.
Never before has such a massive collection of occult artifacts been assembled under one roof, and their combined energy has produced unexplained sightings, hauntings.
I felt like if someone just grabbed my lungs and just squeezed, I really felt possessed.
Occurrences.
As soon as I walked in there, it was like I had this really ugly feeling.
And physical and mind-altering attacks.
Something punched me in the gut. I felt like a quarterback getting sacked. It was an awful feeling. I didn't
rock.
Pretty much daily occurrences of activity that is unexplainable. It's kind of part of the job.
Yeah, it's part of the job. You work at the haunted museum, and if you believe it, I guess these things are going to happen.
You're going to feel like you just got sacked.
Yeah.
I saw that guy, by the way. He was just talking like, "Ooh, I felt like Barbie as a homecoming queen. Like, ooh, I felt like a quarterback getting sacked. Like, you have never been a quarterback.
You've never been sacked. You don't know what it
never
feels
been sacked
like
in your life.
When Cam Jordan busted the line and
flip it over.
Yeah. Yeah,
he could storm.
Flip your car over.
Ugh. So yeah, okay. These things might be happening, but why are they surprised? They work at the Haunted Museum. All right. So the host goes on to explain that Zak makes everyone sign a waiver so that they know of the dangers inside. And then they have a place called the Nerve Center. Okay. This Nerve Center is manned by a radio host of Midnight in the Desert, Art Bell's former radio show, a guy named Dave Schrader. Now, this guy sounds a lot like someone we all know.
Too much.
Now, communicating directly with Zak will be the team at our Nerve Center, led by paranormal expert Dave Schrader. They're going to be monitoring tonight's event using the most advanced paranormal detection instruments in the world. And they will immediately alert Zak and his team to any unusual activity in the museum. Dave, talk to me. How's it looking in the Nerve Center?
Josh, we are ready to go. As you can see, and as you just mentioned, we've got an impressive bank of video monitors capturing every possible angle in this museum. And if this isn't enough, this is our 22 cameras. We've also got security cameras. All 50 security cameras from inside the museum are focused on every hotspot. All of the stories that we've heard from the employees and security, they have seen things, and now we have every inch